Let's talk a little bit about some modern fishing boats and how we can rig them for some of the more traditional methods of fishing.
All right. On the agenda today, we're going to be talking about the Scout 277.
So here's the Scout 277. This is a new boat. They got this up at Anchor Boats in Northeast. Pretty cool boat, right? Nobody's going to knock this boat. But I wanted to use it as an example for our talk today. A, because Anchor Boats is an advertiser, and we want to make sure everybody knows they've got the Scouts. We want to help them get the word out. But B, because it's a great example of a boat that's designed for many modern types of fishing, which in some ways can make it tougher to do some of the more traditional methods of fishing. So what I want you to look at on this boat is notice how you've got plenty of stuff you can troll from, plenty of rod holders, right? But it's not at all like a traditional Chesapeake Bay boat. Like if you get on a charter boat and you go trolling for rockfish, one of the things you're going to see on a modern charter boat is lots and lots and lots of rod holders along the back. So the charter boats, they're pulling planer boards. They're running 20 plus lines. There we go. They're running 20 plus lines, right? This is your standard spring trophy gig. Comes in again in the late season in November when you're trolling lots and lots of lines. And as you can see on there, you've just got rocket launchers and rod holders everywhere. It makes it possible to stack all those lines up and then run them out on the planer boards. Now, on the Scout, you're going to have a difficulty with this because you don't have, 30 different rocket launchers and rod holders available to you. Chris, can we go to the next photo of the Scout, please, number 3? Thank you. So what you can see here is you've got 5 rocket launchers up top. That's great. 5 on either side. Okay. You got 4 in the post, and this is one place where a lot of people don't take advantage of it. Those 4 rod holders in the back of the leaning post are fine for running lines out. All right. You're not going to decapitate anybody aboard unless you got like some NBA star who's 7'10" aboard. The rod tips running off of those lines is going to be up higher than the T-top level. So you're fine to use those. So now you got 9. You've also got 4 holders in the gunnels, okay, and 2 in the transom. Now, if this were my boat, the way I would set this up is I would be running boat rods off of the aft 4 holders, say the 2 in the transom and the 2 aft gunnel holders, and then you can utilize those front 2 gunnel holders for a couple more rods that you're running off of your boards. So what do we got now? We got 4, 8 plus 5. I'm not real good at math, but I think that's 13 lines. So, you got a pretty good number of lines you can run. All right. You jumped the gun on me, Chris, but that's okay. We'll go right to the next photo here. This is the aft cockpit of the boat. Now, I wanted to pull this up for an important reason. One of the things you see on this Scout, and you'll see this on a lot of modern fish boats, is the fold-away transom bench. If you're going to go trolling with planer boards, this is an important feature. Look for this feature in a new boat. You got to have that cockpit clear. And the bottom line is because you got to have somewhere to put those big planer boards. Those things are clunky. They get in the way. They're a pain in the butt. You got to have somewhere to stow them. And on many of the charter boats, they go up on the roof. And on some T-tops, you can put them up on the roof. But on a boat like this, you're going to have issues with space. You're going to have issues potentially with a radome being in the way, with VHF antenna being in the way, with the outrigger post being in the way. You got on some boats it'll work, but on a lot of boats it's not going to work. So you want to make sure you got that big wide open cockpit so you can put those boards back there. I would recommend first putting out a piece of marine mat, that rubbery mat stuff, so you don't chip up the gel coat or anything. You don't wear on the gel coat. You can just use a towel, just put something down on the deck, and then put the planer boards right on top. All right, let's cycle to the next one, Chris. On some boats, it may be an option to stow them up in the bow. I wanted to show this picture because you can see you got a lot of seating up forward. You got cushions. Don't put your planer boards on those cushions. That would not be a good move. The cushions are not cheap to replace, and yeah, they will rip them up a little bit. You do have room potentially in between the seats or maybe right in front of the console. You might be able to wedge it in there. What I wanted to say was if you do that, make sure you bungee them down or something, because this is a boat. Even on a dead calm day, you never know when someone's going to go running by and all of a sudden the boat's going to start rocking and rolling. So just make sure you secure those things. All right, Chris, let's move on to the next one here. All right, this is an old photograph. It's my old boat, but I wanted to show it to you because this was a 19-footer. All right, it's tough to run a trolling spread off a 19-footer of any significant size. And I used to manage to get 9 rods off of this boat. And one of the ways is you can see the gunnel holder is a side mount. And that is really difficult to troll right alongside of transom holders, right? Because the line is going to hit the rod and they get tangled up. But if you run the planer boards out off your T-top, you can then utilize those side mount holders and get more lines off. So you're still not going to get out the 30 line spread. Hey, maybe you can. God bless you if you can figure that one out. But you can certainly get out, 6 is easy. You can get out 8, 10 lines and shouldn't be too big a problem. All right, now, this is a shot of the helm of my boat. And I wanted to include this because I made interesting discovery last year. I never really had thought about this much. I'm not a huge troller, personally. I spend a lot more time jigging, a lot more time doing other stuff. But I do like to troll sometimes. And last year with the mackerel one that was so incredible, I did more trolling than normal because I wanted to catch some of those mackerel. And what you see there in between the steering wheel and the throttles is an autopilot head. An autopilot was something that I had added to the boat. And wow, it just makes it incredible for trolling because I can press a button, I can turn around and do stuff in the cockpit real quick. Of course, I'm constantly, keeping an eye out, keeping a watch, but it allows you to use your hands and move around and do stuff that you normally really can't do. Let's go right to the next photo, Chris. This is an example of a day like that. I don't know who these 2 Bozos are, but I can tell you what, the guy in the blue shirt, oh man, he made all kinds of tangles and I had to go back there and fix everything. That other guy, oh man, what a Guggen, When you got guys like that on your boat, having that autopilot, you can press a button, you can go back there, undo a tangle, handle the rods, whatever's necessary. It's really, I can't tell you enough, a phenomenal leg up when it comes to trolling. And if you're getting a boat or if you're looking to upgrade your boat, I can't suggest it enough. It really expands your options. I thought I was getting it so that when I ran my boat out to the canyons, I could press a button and kick back and not have to fight the wheel the whole time. And that's great. That's cool. It is nice. But I discovered that I troll more and I troll more effectively simply because I have that autopilot. It really is a big, big help. So I'm loving it. Folks, if you have any questions after that rundown, feel free to email me, Lenny at FishTalkMag.com. Feel free to go to our Facebook page. Don't miss another cool Fish Talk video. Click below to subscribe.